Hey gang, this is Iceberg Bricks and welcome to On the Icebox with IB. It's my pleasure and honor to bring to you today Mr. Jesse Moeller of Jesse Brick Galaxy. Say hello,
Hello.
Jesse.
Hello, everyone in Lego YouTube land. Thanks for inviting me, IB, Iceberg.
Welcome. I appreciate you, helping out. A great big deal. Sorry about the feedback. I was trying to watch the chat too. I should know better than that. uh, man, it was kind of, it was like I said, man, I was kind of starstruck on at Brick Fair, Virginia, man. You came up to me, man. To me, I'm just a regular Joe, man, and you came up to me and you told me who you were, and I follow you, man. I've been following you for a long time. That little building that you got in the back there is awesome, and I just so and people know that some of the stars that I idolize, I try to mimic somewhat and try to base some of my bills off of. So I see some stuff for yours that I might copy today.
It's all good. You're not so new as I feel like I'm new. So being put into the light of a rock star Lego guy is
Oh man, man. You're making it, man. You are making it, man. You got a rock star name and rock star bills, man. You're doing it, man.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
So some of your hobbies here are, if everybody didn't know about Jesse, he was a skateboarder.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Tell us about your skateboard days.
Yeah, so since high school that was my go-to sport.
Mm-hmm.
Team sports didn't really work out, so the skateboard crowd was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got a brother too that's about a year apart, and we would have the same group of skateboarder friends. And back, I'm dating myself. I'll save that maybe, but we didn't have skate parks back then, so we would hit the downtown street areas and mark up everybody's benches, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a fun sport because you're expressing yourself kind of creatively there too. It's not so structured.
Right. Okay. All right. So I come over to Jesse's house and I open up the garage. What's the first thing I see? What is it? A Harley? Is it a Crotch Rocket? Which one is it?
You're on the right track. It's definitely a motorcycle. I've got Triumph. I've got a Triumph Bonneville. It's kind of a classic
Mm-hmm.
looking bike, like street bike, cafe racer kind of bike.
Mm-hmm.
I've had two now, so
Okay.
right around 2012 or so, moved back. I'm from Minnesota, lived in Colorado for a while, and then came back and met some motorcycle people and started riding bikes.
Okay. All right. So you don't look like the type to spin records to me, but apparently you do. You do. You're a DJ. You're a disc
Yeah,
jockey.
I should have the headphones on like you, right?
Yeah. You need your headphones. You need your beats.
I'd have them tilted to one side, of course.
What is that?
So
So how
yeah,
long
I
you been
lived in
in college?
Colorado for a while after college, and I found DJing.
Uh-huh.
That was like classic hip hop age, 90, 96, late 90s, and
Okay.
turntablism was still wax on needles and none of that digital stuff.
Right.
So as far as DJing, for me, I like hip hop. I got into hip hop scratching and mixing mixtapes, actual tapes.
I need one of those mixtapes. I
Oh
need
man.
one of those mixtapes, brother. I need you.
Okay.
I need one of those next time I see
Okay.
you.
Yeah, so they've been converted digitally, so I could probably hook you up with some sort of CD or digital copy.
Okay.
Classic stuff.
All right. All right.
Again, another creative outlet of my my life's journey so far.
Right. Now, your name says it all. Jesse's Brick Galaxy. You're standing, behind you is a lot of Star Wars stuff. So you're ultimately a Star Wars fan. How long you been a Star Wars fan?
Well, since Star Wars came out, I mean, I was probably most memorable seeing Empire Strikes Back in the theater. Mm-hmm. So seeing all that and seeing it come back and getting older and having a little disposable income, if you will, found my way to Lego Star Wars. So when I saw all these Lego Star Wars kids, that set it off.
Okay. So what's your favorite Star Wars Lego build?
Probably the biggest one, of course. The bigger the better, right?
Right, yeah, of course.
The Superstar Destroyer. Executioner. It's like 4 feet long. I usually have that behind me in the background. But I moved that to change things up a little bit.
Okay. All right. And we'll get to that. So you're a skateboarder, motorcyclist, turntablist, of course, a dynamic Star Wars fan. And you're also a member of the Greater Midwest Lego Train Club. Tell us about the Greater Midwest Lego Train Club.
So Greater Midwest Lego Train Club, GMLTC, we call it. And it's a little bit of a mouthful, but so once my Star Wars Lego habit grew to a point where I needed to find some other people, what's going on, I looked around and found this train club that had open houses in the Minneapolis area. I'm in Minnesota. So checked out a couple open houses and connected with a few of the members there over pop culture.
Okay.
Because train clubs are kind of doing a little bit of everything. So whether it was superheroes or Doctor Who or whatever, I would talk to one of the guys, Michael, about that. And then one of the other guys, J1, is really big into trains. And they were really inviting about joining the club, which was just show up on a Thursday night and help sort and help build, and you're in.
Right.
So that was a big open door that brought me up a big step as far as like moving into a Lego career, honestly.
Okay. So with that, you put on another hat. Of course, we'll talk about Brickmania. What's your role with Brickmania?
So Brickmania so the train club operates inside Brickmania. So there was a shared relationship there where at the train club, I'd be going there every night, once a week, every night. It did kind of feel like every night for a while. So they operate inside Brickmania. So again, another kind of rare opportunity to meet them. They do the high-end military Lego kits, and to answer your question, I'm kind of rambling on. My role there is road store manager.
Okay.
So you met me on the road, and well, I mean, we met on Instagram first, I guess. But,
right.
But then you met me on the road. So my job is to take our mocks and take our road store to Lego conventions and Comic-Cons. Probably twice a month. So it's a full-time job.
Wow. Okay. So with that, you're on a year average. How many shows do you attend to, and I mean, how many shows? You said about 2 a month.
Right. So The first one I did was in February, LA Bricks, and then Brick Universe, Oklahoma, and then at that point I was part-time, and then they hired me as manager, so I started going to all the shows this year. So it's fresh for me this year, still less than a year in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We're looking at probably 15 different shows right now,
Mm-hmm.
as big as Star Wars Celebration,
Mm-hmm.
Comic-Con, to local Comic-Cons.
Okay.
And try to do all the Lego conventions, which are great for everyone.
Oh, okay. Okay. What's the so of all the mocks that you have done, what's the total number of mocks have you done?
It's like asking how many pieces are in the mock. How long did it take you, and how many pieces? How many mocks have I done? I have done quite a few Star Wars ones, I guess. I did a Hoth. I did just a little battle scene once. I did this Jakku scene.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a Rogue One scene going on right now. So a handful of Star Wars. We're talking table size, 6 foot, by 3 feet deep, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or more. And then my other theme that I'm kind of my favorite theme is superheroes. So I got quite a few Marvel and DC buildings, at
Right.
least 5 apiece, where they're like you've seen the Avengers Tower size,
Mm-hmm.
or smaller. And then let's see, so I mean, that's, if you just group them, that's 15 decent sized mocks that I would say are show worthy.
Okay.
And there's one military one I did a pretty good on.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of ties into my motorcycle hobby. I did Steve McQueen's motorcycle jump over the barbed wire fence.
Okay. Okay. I gotta see that one. I haven't seen that one yet. I definitely want to see that one. Anything with Steve McQueen, definitely want to see. Definitely want to see.
So 20-ish,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Up to 20? Wow, 20. Wow. That's a lot, man.
They come and go. And I mean, joining the train club was a huge part about that. So I'm sourcing train club bricks.
Mm-hmm.
Starting to collect Star Wars stuff in 2012, and then joining a train club like right away in 2013, and just going from building sets to building tables and learning train mechanics was huge. I got to give huge props to the GMLTC.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's good to have a good group to back you, especially when you're doing large mocks as yourself, and so and especially as many shows as you go into, it's good to have a good supportive group with you. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hand out a trivia question to the group, because that's why they're really here. Jesse, that's why they're really here.
Yes.
So I'm gonna give out the trivia question. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually split your screen, folks. You're gonna probably end up going back to the last episode trying to catch up, and you're gonna watch some cool mocks that Jesse has made, because I'm gonna go to PowerPoint right after I give the trivia question. Jesse will, elaborate on his mocks, the ones that we have on the screen. Now, I need your participation, guys. I want you to choose which one that you like the best, and why you like it. Tell me why you like it, and which one you like the best. While we're elaborating, we're breaking down each mock that we're putting on display. So here's the trivia question. In last week's show, on the Icebox with Iceberg, BX was the guest. What was BX's other hobby? He had another hobby. What was it? And the second part to that trivia question is, how long did it take BX to build and fabricate? So fabrication time and build time, the Macy's building that he sold to Macy's. What was the total amount of time? All right, I need your answers at the end. I'll take answers at the end of the show. So don't put them in there yet. Don't put them in the chat yet. Just put them, you know, do your homework, and then when I get ready to announce it, then announce it. All right. So, all right. So what I'm going to do now, Jesse, is give me a minute here. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to actually put myself on present. And we're going to go back to the top here. A minute. There we go. All right. So they can't see me, neither are you. They're just looking at this. All right.
Right on.
All right. So here we have the Bob's Java Hut.
Can you go back one?
Yep.
So there's my sig fig army. If
Awesome.
you know Jesse's Brick Galaxy, and you're in the Lego community thing, and if you're new, this is a goofy little thing. We trade each other's sig figs.
Right.
So there's my guy, and
Yeah,
I got plenty to trade.
Got the pleasure of getting them. I still got to do a video. I got one coming up.
I really like that. If we're gonna just go through the PowerPoint, it's the Lego Batman movie's torso, but I put sleeves on them, and without the utility belt, it just looks like I'm wearing a Batman shirt.
Yeah, that's pretty, and it's pretty unique. Is it on the expensive side or is it on the least expensive side? Because you know some of us can go overboard with a sig fig.
Right, it's in between. I would say it's not cheap, but I knew. I mean, all those sets coming out with Lego Batman movie being so good, I knew there'd be a lot of torsos available, so that wasn't so bad.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty unique. And you know, I've seen the, you know, the Superman one. I haven't seen this one here with the Batman symbol, and it, like I said, looks like a T-shirt, look like a, you know, like a regular guy going to a Batman movie with a T-shirt, you know, Batman T-shirt. It's pretty cool, pretty unique.
With my 9-pack of abs.
Right. Yeah. Gotta keep in shape, even if your sig fig look more physique than you. You know. So.
Otherwise, I was pretty happy with that guy. So
yeah,
definitely hit me up in the chat or find me on Instagram if anybody listening wants to do a trade.
Awesome. All right, so tell us about the Bob's Java Hut.
Bob's Java Hut. So my hobby motorcycling led me to this place. It is a real coffee shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And most guys need a meeting place to go on bike rides. So you take your bike there, and they got motorcycle only parking and benches to drink coffee, and then you go out for a ride, and maybe you go there afterwards or before, and it's just a nice little coffee shop in uptown Minneapolis. So I'm like looking for a mock to do. This was before the train club, actually. So this is all my pieces, my unique mock, one of my first really decent creative builds. And recently let's see, I kind of improved the sidewalk on that picture. From that picture, that's like just a little street picture, and submitted it to a contest to the local science museum. Science Museum of St. Paul had a Lego contest, and I'm like, well, I have this Bob's Java Hut. It's local. It'll probably do decent, and entered it into the contest. And if you place in the top 3, they put it on display at the museum. So bonus to winning a contest. The display with a few others were under museum glass
Ah,
at the venue. So I'm really happy about how that turned out and where it's gone.
okay, all right. All right, so let's get into some of the fun stuff.
So yeah, I mentioned earlier, superhero theme is kind of my favorite. So joining the train club on the right there, you see the Bat Train, and so being in a train club, I'm trying to stretch myself to incorporate Star Wars with trains, and yeah, you know what, superheroes is going to work out better. So I've done a few DC and Marvel builds. So I was really happy when the Lego Batman movie came out and they showed the Batcave with all those goofy blimps and trains and submarine Batmobiles. Because when I was building that one, I was trying to think, why would Batman need a bat train? But it's just for fun. It's just for fun. So
right, yeah, you got to have the imagination. It's always make believe when it comes to Lego.
Right. So that's the Bat Train, and then on the left there you have the Legion of Doom.
Okay.
That I built after I built the Hall of Justice. So the bad guys needed a headquarters if I was going to have the good guys. I mean, that's their story. If the good guys are going to have a team, the bad guys need to team up. And so there's the Legion of Doom.
Okay.
With the Darth Vader looking helmet headquarters.
Yeah. Looks very villainistic.
Yeah. Menacing. So if you remember the Super Friends TV show from the 70s and 80s, they would show that cartoon, and their headquarters came out of a swamp. So it was a nice.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So meanwhile, back at the Hall of Legion of Doom, so this gave me an opportunity to kind of play with this weird swampy texturing landscaping around the building once I was happy with the building. And there's no interior. It's too goofy with the round angles and stuff. But structurally from the outside, it's all the way around like a dome.
Right. Okay.
And houses the bad guys.
Ah, awesome. Looks great, man. Looks real great. Now I seen this Daily Bugle that you had, and the picture I picked really is really not doing this too much justice. I think I have another picture that is aligned with it. But tell us about the Daily Bugle.
Okay, so yeah, I think the one on the left is just a Lego set. I think that's just it's the size of something I did new on that, but the size of the Lego sets are just barely one story, a little facade for Spider-Man, and it's not good enough. It's not big enough.
Right. Yeah. So
on the right is nearly complete Daily Bugle, because you can see the word daily at the top, but you can't see bugle. The sign at the top is snotted in with Lego, and that was a challenge. If you've ever tried to snot your own letters, and
I haven't done that yet.
Lego has a few signs, on the theater and Al's Barbershop and stuff, where you can kind of learn the technique, but then try to spell your own words. So I would suggest getting those modulars. Now, I saw you did the Ninjago thing. I haven't done that one yet, but there's definitely some techniques to be learned in there.
Yes, I learned a lot with that Ninjago set. It was a lot of techniques, a lot of stuff that I didn't really think about doing that they incorporated on that, and now I'm like, oh, I could take that. It was definitely a classroom lesson. So
again, yes. So advice and info all at the same time. You know, take what you can do with modular buildings and then build your own. So so I kind of incorporated. There is a bugle set that's tan and black windows and a little gray, but I went full on 6 windows across and 6 floors up. And it's got patios on every other level in the back. And the brick and mortar look on the corners, I'd love to do all the way up the top, but you kind of want to make the street level a little bit different when you're doing kind of skyscraper buildings like that.
I see you have my 2 buddies, Mr. H and Brick Dudes along with you. Where'd you meet those guys at?
Yeah, so that was a Sig Fig trade post.
Okay.
And, with me in the middle, it's like, hey, these guys traded with me, and if you trade with me, I try to include you with a work in progress or something special. So
okay,
met those guys through Instagram, Lego community, Saturday sort streaming guy channel.
Yeah,
I don't know what to call it. I tune in a little bit, to be honest, but it's hard to tune in all the time.
Yeah, it is.
I build a lot.
Yeah, when you're on the road and you build a lot, it's a lot of content, you know. But it's good. We're thankful for it, you know. And but like you say, when you're on the road, you're on the road, man. You know, so we understand that. All right. So next up, we have the Fantastic Four building.
So Fantastic Four. I did this one pretty early on. There's not a lot to it. Again, I think that's like a prototype version. If you know Lego, you know there are no real Fantastic Four figures yet. So this was a little experiment of what I could do with making the stretchy guys with a bunch of blue legs, and what would their building look like, the classic version, with the 4, Freedom 4 Tower or Baxter Building is a couple of the names they use in the comics. But that was a great experiment on architecture there, trying to do that 4 on 4 sides.
Oh yeah. I was about to say that. That's kind of and like you said, number 1, you built your own sig figs on this one, and then 2, that you incorporated the 4 on all 4 sides. I mean that right there alone is pretty huge.
Yeah, so it was a lot of trial and error. You know, it's not too difficult to envision. I've got I got I don't know, a decent mind's eye of envisioning 3-dimensionally. So a lot of my builds are not pre-planned. So I actually built this one 3 different times.
Oh yeah.
I built 4 smaller, and then like a full base plate, and then this is the medium size, I believe, that I'm showing you now, the final version. You've got a little red on a black Technic rod at the top. That's the Human Torch flying around. So there's actually a motor in there spinning them around.
Oh, okay, right there. Yeah, I see you. Yeah.
Yep. And then I tried to brick build the thing, but yeah, you know, it was an interesting build.
Yeah. Okay, all right. I mean that 4. I mean that's now. This is where I'm mad with you, Jesse. I'm really mad. I'm mad because, like, you know, I didn't talk to you about your build, saw you at the show, and you never mentioned the Hall of Justice. You never mentioned it. And then I look on your webpage, and boom, there it is, the Hall of Justice. This thing is, yes, very, very eye catching, and it's such unique. You know, such unique build that this is. It's just you know, it's phenomenal. I really like it, Jesse. I do.
Thank you so much. So yeah, this one was a challenge. Guess where I started.
Where would you start on this one?
Well, the arch, of course.
Okay.
The arch is splayed out in individual panels, and then clipped together with a flex tube. So it's splayed out at like an accordion. And I knew if I could do that, I could almost engrave the letters Hall of Justice within the panels.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a sticker. That's actually brick-built lettering.
What? Wait, stop. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, you're right. Oh, wow, man. So you got to build a unique build with inside a unique build here. I mean, that looks very time consuming.
Yeah, I get the question a lot, how long did it take? And I usually say 50 hours on a superhero build, where if it took me 5 hours over 10 nights, that'd be 2 weeks worth of work. That's a rough estimate. So you start with the arch, and that determined the size of the building.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a little help with the train club on learning some techniques and splaying that stuff out, and then figured out how to build around it. And that does have an interior. There is a flip side with the Council Classic Super Friends headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the patio or the fountain, and the flash there catches a lot of eyes.
Oh yeah, see, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that on a couple of pictures.
The bend some brick techniques. If you haven't done that, you can try to chat me up about it. It's pretty useful.
Okay, I will be chatting you up about it, because that looks pretty awesome. I will. That Hall of Justice, man. That thing is one of a kind, man. Definitely one of a kind, man. You definitely put your signature down on that one.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, that was and I historically I was more of a Marvel kid growing up, but I'm paying attention to DC just as much these days, and representing in Lego as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's a fan favorite. You have I guess this would be the before and after shot.
Yeah. So, wow. Okay. So before, prototype number 1, call it, is on the right. Mm-hmm. If you look at the windows closely, they're not blue. Mm-hmm. So I was sourcing as much as I could with white windows, and I think I ran out and then started doing the blue tinted windows, and then came to a decision that the whole thing should be blue windows, and rebuilt it.
Okay.
And the one on the right is also shorter, so you can see like it's missing a level or 2 or 3 panels of windows compared to the one on the left. Mm-hmm. And the signature flex tube red piping, I guess, catches a lot of eyes. I would have preferred blue, but I had this red flex tube and put it on. You use what pieces you got. So
yeah, absolutely. You go broke in this game.
I'm like, this is what I have. I'm gonna put it on there, and I'm like, well, red, white, and blue, and gray, and whatever. It's looking pretty decent. Mm-hmm. Avenger Tower. So so when I display that one, I usually do a fight scene, and see a lot of Ultrons down there and the Hulkbuster. So that was around the time frame that this was being constructed. So I've done since then, an Ultron and a Civil War, and most currently, kind of a sneak peek of Infinity War on my Avengers Tower.
Oh, okay, great, man. That's great, man. That's great. Yeah, yeah. I did one with the one I had displayed was the clone Spideys, the clone saga.
Right.
I was trying, yeah. But you get that question, that not too many people knew about what I was trying to portray.
Right.
So
What
I
do they
learned
call
from
it?
it.
Clone War? Clone?
Yeah, it was the clone saga. I think it was called
Clone
the clone
Saga.
saga. Yeah, or the yeah. And yeah, so all right. So here we have two Star Wars for our Star Wars fans. The one on the left is what I learned is it's a prototype. You said.
Yes. So being a Star Wars geek, I needed to do something special because they announced a couple of years ago, I guess now, almost, that Episode 7 would be coming, and The Force Awakens trailer drops, and they show a speeder bike going by this crashed Star Destroyer in a desert, and with just using the trailer clips and previews, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to build this out of Lego.
Mm-hmm.
What would it take? So I took a model and put some plates around it at an angle, and did that scene, and that's pretty close to that little speeder bike thing. So since then, I've expanded that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the picture on the right is A New Hope medal ceremony. They have those Luke and Han medal minifigs, and Leia in her dress, and I laid out all my Star Wars guys in a line and did a little tribute. Back then I was doing some stop motion stuff too. So if you do look me up on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
there's some amateurish but decent little stop motion videos that I did probably 3 years ago. And this being one of them, where they walk down the hallway and then they all turn, and that's a shot from. Actually, it might be. Yeah, that's probably the same one. I think I've done that one twice now too.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, and that's your finished project, your display there. So tell us a little bit something about that.
So this one's my premium
Okay.
showcase. So that Jakku scene, if you notice, now the Star Destroyer is bigger. So I adapted the kit, aged it, made it look damaged, battle worn, crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Worked around the sand in Lego to give the texture of a crash and other crashes around it.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of grew into from that prototype. I've got all this space underneath where I'm crashing a ship.
Mm-hmm.
What if I put a train around it and a trench and fly some mini ships? So when this one's running, it has a hidden train, flying ships around it. You can see Post ship on the left and a little striker in front. He's chasing.
I see. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, the picture doesn't do this one justice either. When I'm showing it off, I'm like, you have to put your camera in video mode, because
Yeah, you got to get the zoom in on this one here. Yeah.
So the door's open on the left, and I show off the train, and it's got two M motors also going in it, so that the ships are not only going around, but they're going up and down on their posts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're weaving, chasing each other around, and that gets quite a few kudos, which is what I've been doing this for a lot of time, right. Getting some kudos. So that picture is from the showroom floor of Brickworld, Chicago.
Okay. Okay, okay. So you've been around the gambit there a little bit, around the circuit with touring, with your projects.
Yep. Probably should have skipped that one. That's just
This one,
that's the red
a Robin
MCA
House,
shirt or
the Robin.
Frank Lloyd Wright House. Yeah.
No Franklin Wright House. Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Uh,
All right, so we'll skip that one. So this right here, Jesse, is what I wanted to talk about. This right here is the Starship. This here, and guys, if you scroll all the way to the top of the live chat, you guys are in the live chat. I appreciate you for watching. Now, I need y'all guys to do me a favor. Jesse is one of us, and nothing like support in our community. And so Jesse supports us, and I would like for us to support him. He has brought this Doctor Who Sanctum to Lego Ideas, and
Doctor Strange.
so yeah, Doctor Strange. I'm sorry, Doctor Strange. I'm showing my age. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who. And so Doctor Strange Sanctum, and he has brought it to Lego Ideas. I have listed the link in the chat. If you just go to that link and just click down on support, so we can help Jesse get over the hill on this. I greatly appreciate you, and I'm sure Jesse would greatly appreciate you too. He would do the same for you, and I would too. So let's talk about this build here that you have, Jesse.
Great shout out, Iceberg. I appreciate that totally. So Doctor Strange's Sanctum. Saw the movie, was inspired, wasn't sure, but kind of had an idea that I wanted to do this build. So in the case of Star Wars, I built it first before the movie came out, and had something to show off. This one I did after I saw the movie. I was inspired, and now it's not the same structure as the movie version of the Sanctum Sanctorum, but it's the classic look. And again, like the Spider-Man thing, they give you a little set. So the window, if you look at that iconic window, it's kind of the reverse of the set. I used those blades, just like they show you the inside of his office, and it deserved a full build out. So
okay,
there's the inside. That gets a lot of kudos.
when you take us into the mind of Jesse Brick Galaxy, when you're building something like this, what are you trying to capture?
I mean, the classic comic book scene is just that brick and mortar building with that window, and it just looked great, So the best mocks have great details, whether you can see them or not. And I'm like, so I built this one twice. So this is the second version that opens up. The first one didn't, and I'm like, this thing needs to be shown off. It'll be a cool feature, kind of like a dollhouse. It kind of opens up like that, and then you see the banister staircase. I had an idea for that around the same time. I want to do a banister staircase. How do I do that? And I played around with these dark tan and dark red colors and the gold posts, and it just is something that came together beautifully when I get to show it off.
Okay.
So another, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so here we got a little closer shot, so you can
there you
tell
can
us
really
about a little
see
bit more
the
detail.
If you ignore, how did I do that with Lego Fire? And I get that question a lot. The Lego Fire, you have to get old Fire, not new Lego Fire, and you can hook your little posts into a circle like that to do the teleportation.
A lot of detail.
A lot of detail. So there's a little sign in the back. There's statues on the upper mezzanine. some pillars, just nice, beautiful colors. I'm so happy with some of these dark medium oranges and dark reds, and it's a little tricky as far as how it would function. But you know, so it does have stairs that go up, and they kind of come out at every other level is a half a stud apart. So it was with the cheese slopes on top of the post. So a really fun build.
It's very you have a lot of variety in it. Ralph the Brill, who's in the chat, says that not to be a Debbie Downer, but if Lego doesn't do it, can they still get the plans?
Yeah, right. I'm not surprised. Yeah, that would be the second offer. One other guy's like, some guy from Brazil is like, how do I buy this? I want to buy this from you. I'm like, I can't give you my one and only. I could barely put a price tag on it with labor. I don't know, but yeah, maybe someday it's still in Lego ideas. If they decide to go large with a superhero building, this would be an ideal, because it fits right in, I think, with the modular style builds. You can open it up. You could pry each level apart. There you see the top level without the roof on. I like to have people come by and quiz them if they saw the movie, the Lego spell books chained up with Lego chains.
Right.
Hanging. Oh yeah, there's a better look.
Okay, sorry about that. Got you right there. Yep. Go ahead.
I forgot you had that. So that was another great experiment on how can I hold a book with chain, just chains in the front and back are holding those up. And so that was a good look. And then there's another Easter egg from the movie with the cloak of levitation under museum glass in the display glass.
I see. Yes.
And then, of course, the after credit scene, Thor is still drinking his bottomless beer of mug.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Another highlight. I don't know. People, it's always details. So if you look on the floor, the scrolls are just scattered about, and the white is just an old Lego door with the paper coming out. That was a good technique. It works good for magical scenes.
Cool. All right. So, like I said, guys, he has about today would be he would have 176 days left. He needs to get to 10,000. So let's support Jesse on this. If you want this set sitting in your home, you got to get it to Lego, and that's one of the ways that we got to do. I know I would buy this set, hands down. I would buy this set because of the variations that Jesse has incorporated in this build. And catching the true essence, I think, is what Jesse's knack is when it comes to Lego, when it comes to themes and stuff like that. I think he catches it all, and especially in this build you have.
Thanks a lot. That's kind words.
Yes.
A fan of yours too. We're pushing each other to build bigger and better things.
Yes, we are. That definitely are. All right, so guys, if you ever want to be on the show here with Iceberg, you can, and just have a lot of pictures and stuff for me to show off for you. Just hit me in the Instagram and let me know about yourself and whatnot. But that's my soapbox. And so now we are going to present to you. And you said let you say a few things to the group. Are you watching the chat?
It's hard to go back and forth. No, I was just kind of concentrating on So if I start on the bottom, let's see. How can it be glass on Doctor Strange at the same time? I don't know what that means.
Hey, Ralph DeBrill, can you rephrase your question? You're saying that how can it be in the glass? Oh, you talk about the cloak of levitation.
Oh, yeah.
You had one in the glass.
I always get stuff like that where I struggle to show. I want to show two different scenes from. So I want to show that I can do a cloak behind glass, but then he's wearing it. That's what he means.
Gotcha. I got you. We got you.
I'll see that with the Hulk. Oh, you have two Hulks or you have two Spider-Mans. It's like I'm trying to show two scenes.
Right.
So that's all right. Good comments. Saw that at Brick Universe. Also, yeah, I was at Brick Universe in Boston. So that was the Star Wars display, actually. So
okay.
The Jakku scene has been to Boston and Chicago, and I have plans. I got recognized in Utah, actually. Brick Slopes gave me a runner-up AFOL choice.
Okay.
So that won an award and a big set. That was pretty awesome. Okay. 3 Stilts Across.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Right.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the comments now.
What's the next show you're going to, Jesse?
What's that?
What's the next show you're going to?
I am going to Brick Universe Knoxville. This coming up weekend.
Okay.
So look for me just representing Brickmania there. We have to bring our whole full display of Brickmania military mocks to that show, so we're a sponsor. So we're doing Brick Universe Knoxville this weekend, then we're off for Labor Day, and then I'm back in Brick Universe Tulsa. Again, a big Brickmania show. After that, Brick World, Michigan. So that's one, if you're Midwest and you haven't seen the Star Wars display, I will be bringing that Star Wars display again for invite only. I'm really happy to get acknowledged again as a Lego displayer at Brick World. So I'll be at Brick World, Michigan, and Brick World, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay.
With the Brickmania U.S. Missouri and my own Star Wars Jakku thing, so you can see that train, how it's flying those ships around, and talk to me and trade big pigs and ask any questions.
You could be up there with Mr. H. You could be up there with Mr. H.
Yeah.
He's up there in Michigan. All right. So sorry about that, Jesse. As you can see, already I'm asking for the trivia question answers already. I already mentioned the questions, and it was what was BX's other hobby, and the other one was how long did it take him to fabricate the Macy's build? All right, so it's a 2-part question. So we knew that he had well, I'm not gonna say it was his other hobby. So if you want to go ahead and put your answers in the chat right now, or you want to send it to me, yeah, just put it in the chat, and yeah, just put it in the chat before we close. If not, I'll gladly take my Ninjago. So, Jesse, what would you say to someone like me, who's a novice and just now getting onto the scene as a builder and trying to display? What would be your words to them? Well,
you want to take some constructive criticism, but you want to build for yourself, like a lot of artists. It's an art. What we're having fun with Legos. but you wanna have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of art, if you just paint something for yourself, it'll be great. So I would say build for yourself, and it'll turn out awesome.
Okay.
I concentrated on the superhero stuff, and it's just been, you know, it takes a lot of time. So to dedicate yourself to something you truly are interested in and love, theme wise, you know, whether it be castles or spaceships, or, you know, superheroes, trains, Lego. Do it for yourself, and it'll be great.
Okay. All right. All right. Any last words, Jesse?
Last words. I don't know. I got through the show without saying Brickmania so much. But I will give a sneak peek. I'm not sure if it's going to be a set. I've had one set become a Brickmania kit, and I'll reach over here. Try to display it. Let me see if I can pull myself up here.
All right.
So this
Yeah,
May the 14th Striker was just a little 15-piece set that actually got built in like 50 of them by Brickmania and manufactured. I'm working on my next one, and this might be recognizable to people who watch Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah. I saw that one. Oh man, I should have put that in the PowerPoint slide. I actually saw that one.
I've seen a couple of people do Rick and Morty, and that is on my list to maybe become a product. So stay tuned for more news about that.
Okay, awesome. Well, folks, that's going to conclude tonight's show. I appreciate every last one of you that were participating in the chat, and I appreciate all of you that subscribing to the channel and being active. I appreciate all of you. Jesse, appreciate you. Don't forget to stop by Lego Ideas. Vote on Jesse's Doctor Strange Sanctum. We need that set right next to this set right here. We need that set. We need
that's
that
what's
set.
awesome about it too. Yeah, you know, it would go right in with a modular city.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm all for it, man. You know, so let's help Jesse get over the goal here. Like I said, he's a regular guy like us. He would help us out. We help each other. Let's help him. All right. So that concludes the show. My next week's show will include one of the agents of Mach, Troy himself, will be on the show next Monday. Please stay tuned. It is going to be epic. Every show is going to be epic because we bring you great people that from the Lego community. I appreciate you. See you next week.
I remember him. He's got a nice Stark Tower too.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait.
I'll be tuning in for that one for sure.
Probably make him do a live video instead of doing the PowerPoint. Make him show us live.
Great job. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming, and the folks, thank you for coming as well.
Jesse's Brick Galaxy.